Thanks. Well, I was with Jeremy on Saturday at cigars. The world has a lot of very serious problems going on.
Of course, oh yes.
Foremost in my mind, really depressing one, is climate change.
Climate change, wonderful driver of negativity.
Right. Well, scientists are predicting now that a number of coastal cities around the country are going to be flooded out. It's going to happen fairly soon, much more sooner than we thought. People will have to migrate away from places like Manhattan, New Orleans, the Delta in Louisiana, the Delta in Egypt, Holland, most of Denmark, Houston, much of Los Angeles. Really depressing.
Yes, extremely hopeful for the growth of worldwide negativity.
But do you see any hope or any cheer in this bad news? Or
Jeff, to ask me if I see cheer is it's like asking a French person if he would like to eat American bread. I feel that the rush to high ground, the desperate attempt to escape the fate that awaits us all, which is, after all, death. It's a powerful motor of negativity, the negativity that I promote, and attempt to convert Americans into loving and embracing, okay?
So when you're leading your lectures, your seminars, and you get these 3 or 4 people who show up for them,
right,
you're telling them from your point of view and your philosophical premise that climate change is good, that flooding out of our coastal cities is going to make you more comfortable, I guess.
Absolutely. You say every human being, Jeff, is walking tightrope between darkness and blackness.
Yeah.
Eventually we're going to pitch down into absolute, infinite, total negativity. We don't know when, we don't know where. We prepare for it, and the closer we get to it, the more exciting it becomes. The closer we approach, the more our culture gets enriched by the nearness of negativity.
So when you're lecturing to some students at St. Thomas,
yes,
you're going to say, don't worry, things are going to get worse.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely abandon your concern about a happy outcome. There is no happy outcome, and let's just dance with that truth, okay? Have you ever seen movies from Eastern Europe? All the uniformly negative, all bleak, etc., but also very rich with human drama. If America wants to improve its culture, it's going to have to get a little more Eastern European, I think, Jeff, and therefore a little more negative.
Well, could we move on to another subject?
Oh, sure, of course.
Now, the Star Tribune.
Yes.
There's a lot of negativity in the reader comments service that they have after controversial articles.
Yes, there is.
It's all negative and cynicism by anonymous writers for the most part. They're kind of like cesspools of writing. The human spirit seems to be demeaned and taken into the sewer just by reading these things. How do you react to the reader comments in the Star Tribune?
Well, first of all, the sewer aspect, the negativity, the darkness, all of course I celebrate. What I don't like so much is the childishness, the kind of, poopy joke sort of approach. I want negativity to be rich, mature, chocolatey kind of negativity. I want to bring up quality of the negativity, if possible.
Okay. Are you thinking maybe this is a new genre of literature?
I think it is very possible. I think it is, in general, trying to raise the cultural level of American negativity while we increase its actual amount in this country, without losing that darkness and that sense of being flushed into blackness.
But you're going to have to create some criteria to judge it. That means maybe studying it, getting a fellowship or a grant to actually look seriously at this, to measure it.
Have you seen my first 6 books? That is what I have done.
I've only read the first 4.
Well, yes, and I will admit that reading all of my books might, for an American, be a slightly difficult read. But of course, study is going on. In fact, I am starting a think tank for negativity as soon as I get the funding. And of course, the funding has been denied me so far, and that's negative.
Now let's talk about the Republican candidates. We have we have Ted Cruz, the most negative of the lot, and then we have John Kasich, former governor of Ohio, and he's the most positive of the 4 remaining candidates, but he is at the bottom. He's not getting the votes.
Yes, you see.
Is there a correlation between his attitude towards politics and his low standing amongst the Republicans?
See, this is a very interesting question, Jeff, because first of all, Kasich has Eastern European background, which would indicate that he understands the kind of negativity that I am
Sure.
always advocating.
He is not practicing it.
No, exactly not. Exactly not. No, he has been infected by American virus of positivity. Americans always believe, if we work together, there can be a solution to our problems. If we join hands, we will solve the dilemmas that face us, etc., etc., etc. Rather than simply surrendering to the black darkness which is going to engulf us. Okay, but Kasich also embodies a paradox, which I admit. Okay, for example, if I were in Kasich's place and I were in this complete negative position, I would myself be somewhat positive about it because of my position about negativity.
Now, have any of the colleges you lecture at talked about creating a chair of negativity?
Oh, this is my dream. And not for myself,
Yeah.
not for myself, but for the new crop of negatives coming up after me. They have no opportunity for tenure or for academic influence. To give them a little, I don't want to say hope, of course.
Yeah.
No, but to anyway give them an income. Okay.
Democratic Visions is independently crafted by volunteers, mostly Democrats, from Eden Prairie, Minnetonka, Edina, and Bloomington.